Hello, everybody. Welcome to Raising Preteens Right. My name is Elisa DiCristina, MSW, independent educator. As always, these are my opinions. You're entitled to yours. Please use your discretion when watching our videos. Today, we begin the first mini story in year 2, which is chapter 13 on health and rest. Rest is so important at this age because pre-adolescents and adolescents begin to go through something called sleep phase delay. And with the biological changes, the body usually takes 1 to 2 more hours for melatonin to start producing. So a lot of times at night, you'll see teenagers wide awake, moving around. That's biologically related. This is so well known that many policymakers have debated starting high school later because it's such a part of their circadian rhythm. Moving on to an excerpt, it is important to note that different aspects of yourself are continuously interacting with one another. Learning how to manage your time effectively is an important part of fostering positive health and restful habits. Positive self-care includes practicing healthy habits and routines that encourage the use of skills that support your overall well-being. Self-care means the proactive ways you take care of your physical, psychological, social, and spiritual well-being. Proactivity means taking responsibility for shaping your future by taking action and creating circumstances in your life, rather than being passive, not acting, and then reacting to situations. It's not uncommon for teachers to hear that students may be groggy or tired or even falling asleep in class sometimes, so we want to try to avoid that. We want them to become self-motivated to take charge of that routine, so the parent isn't chasing after them, go to sleep, brush your teeth, etc. During pre-adolescence, it's important they start to develop their own healthy habits. We briefly touch upon eating habits, how important it is to look at nutritional labels. Certainly, I'm not a nutritionist, but that's very important that they start to become familiar with what they're putting in their body. We know that food affects the body, sleep affects the mood, puberty affects the mood. That mind-body holistic approach is really important during this time in their life because everything's interacting with everything else and their moods can be thrown off very easily. As they're starting adolescence, we want to encourage healthy sleep routines that they have accountability for. We know that really supports their nervous system. In the years I spent as a mental health clinician and psychiatric emergency screener, in completing a mental health status exam, we always ask about sleep and appetite. They're key indicators as to what's going on in the routines of a person. We know anxiety causes disruption, stress, depression. We're checking on that routine. It's important that the adolescent begin to take responsibility to develop a baseline for their eating and sleeping habits and to carry that with them through their adulthood. We approach health and rest from a social emotional perspective and relate it to the idea that their peers might start experimenting with substances around this age. We write about the challenges of vaping to be emotionally ready to say no and use those critical thinking skills, and that this is a blessing to be different in this situation, that saying no makes you different in a good way. So we reinforce that this is honoring your body, and we talk about health and rest from the spiritual perspective. Scripture refers to your body as a temple of God, and you are taught to glorify God with your body. Scripture teaches you to avoid things that are harmful to your body and to eat healthy, to exercise regularly, and to get adequate rest. It is important to stay attentive and keep away from unhealthy decisions that poison your spirits, negatively impact your physical body, or seek to destroy your mental health and emotional well-being. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. Continuing with emotional and spiritual wellness, another excerpt from the Raising Preteens Right student textbook. This applies to watching over your physical sleep as well as bringing your burdens to Him and not continuing to carry burdens of worry, stress, and anxiety. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. knowing that anxiety oftentimes disrupts the sleep. Speak to them about how to increase their peace and bring their worries and anxieties to God, and use that as a coping mechanism psychologically and to increase their faith. We talk about the overstimulation of electronics and how rest is healing in all aspects of who you are as a person. Mind, body, spirit, socially. It's good to unplug. It's good to have that alone time, be still, be quiet. And of course, spiritually, it's very important to have that quiet time. There's so much overstimulation going on with our preteens, and that fear of missing out and the screen addiction, and you hear it all over the news with the electronics. So we're to reinforce, unplug, take care of yourself, enforce really healthy habits. In between the lesson, we want these strategies implemented and reinforce what was read and continue the conversations. Our program is not meant to be read, memorized, and forgotten about. Personal development is a lifelong journey, bringing conversations up to our children to reinforce the topics and subtopics and competencies in the daily life of the adolescent to affect change. For more information, please visit raisingpreteensright.com. If you sign up for our newsletter, we will send you a discount code on our program. Together, we will make a difference. Thank you for watching.